Mr. President, I also want to take some time today to speak about the senior senator from Maryland, Barbara Mikulski. In the years to come, Senator Mikulski will be known for a lot of things that made her years of service to the people of Maryland quite remarkable. It will always be mentioned that she has been the longest-serving woman in the history of the United States Congress. Although that's important, Senator Mikulski didn't come to Washington to see how long she could stay. She came here to see how much of a difference she could make. In the end, she served for so many years because of what she was able to do with her time in the House and then in the Senate. The people of Maryland have such a strong affection for Senator Mikulski because they always felt like she was one of them. She never lost touch with the people back home. Her family name was well known to the people in her neighborhood because her parents ran a grocery store. Every morning they opened their store early so people could stop by to pick up something before they headed off to work. In that and so many other ways, her family played an important role in the day-to-day life of their neighborhood, and her neighbors never forgot that. When the opportunity came for Senator Mikulski to run for a seat in the House representing Baltimore, she didn't hesitate. She took her case to the people, and they liked what they heard. She won what was to be the first of a long series of elections, each of which she won easily and impressively. Senator Mikulski has a number of interests, and one of the things I'm sure she enjoyed about Congress has been her ability to take up a number of those issues to make a difference in people's lives. In everything she's done, she's always found a way to help the people back home. A key example of that is her fight over the road. The battle dates back to 1966 when Barbara was a social worker in Baltimore. The City Council proposed building a highway to connect downtown Baltimore to its suburbs, a plan that Barbara worried would cause Polish Americans, African Americans, and the lower income residents to lose their homes. As is her way, Barbara sprung to action by forming a community group of opposition. The road was blocked. Barbara wound up on the City Council, and the area where the road was supposed to be built is now one of Baltimore's biggest draws. As far as her work in the Senate goes, one of her many legislative victories that I will long remember is the work she did on something that came to be known as Rosa's Law. Rosa was a 9-year-old young lady who was diagnosed with Down syndrome. Her mother was well aware of what a hurtful label things like mental retardation and mentally retarded were to those who saw them in the federal laws that were written to help them. Barbara knew there was only one solution to this problem, and that was to eliminate those terms from federal law. I was pleased to be able to help in the effort to pass that bill, seeing how much it meant not only to Rosa and her family, but to Senator Barbara Mikulski. Our work on that bill will stay with me and will be a reminder of the reason we work so hard to pass legislation and answer the needs of the people back home. In the end, it's all about making lives better, and that's something that Barbara has done every day of her service in Congress. As the longest-serving woman in Congress, she's continued to earn the title of Dean of Senate Women. She's been a mentor and source of good advice to her colleagues, who appreciated being able to ask for her opinion and her guidance on their work in the Senate. She certainly helped me when I was a new senator and was advocating for low-income housing in Jackson, one of the rich areas of our state. With her support, we got that done and made sure that there was a mix in the community of different occupations and people. Her reputation has been to not only help the members of the Senate with whom she has served, it also helped serve to encourage the women of Maryland to get active and involved in the work that must be done to make her home state and our nation better places to live. In a very real sense, her leadership skills have inspired the next generation of Maryland's leaders. Now, Senator Mikulski is leaving the Senate after having made a difference and leaving a mark on the history of the Congress. One of the key things she'll be remembered for is her tireless support of NIH. I know they will miss her and her commitment to the principles and values that guided her through her career, from her service on the Baltimore City Council to her work in the House of Representatives and then in the United States Senate. She made a difference everywhere she served, and for that reason and many, many more, she will never be forgotten. My wife Diana joins in sending our best wishes to Senator Mikulski for her years of service. Now that her Senate adventure has come to an end, she'll undoubtedly come up with more challenges to pursue in the years to come. I'm hoping these plans might include a follow-up to her mystery novel that was set in the Senate. We're looking forward to seeing what the next chapter of her life may include. Good luck to these fellow senators.